Hello again everybody, and welcome to video number 27. And in this video I'm going to go over quickly how to handle file names and folder names that contain spaces. Now this is something that I should have gone over much earlier in this series. So I apologize for that, you guys. When I started this series I just randomly made tutorials, whatever came to my mind at the given moment. I just made a tutorial about it. So yeah, this is definitely something that I should have gone over sooner. And as a matter of fact, the next several videos are all going to be about things that I should have gone over earlier. So I know we're going from somewhat complicated tutorials back to really easy ones, but I guess a few easy tutorials will be a little bit of a break for you. So let's go ahead and get started. This is really easy and really quick. So how to handle file names with spaces in them. It's actually really easy. I'm going to demonstrate the problem first and then I'll demonstrate the solution. So say for example I want to use the Nano text editor and I want to create a file called test file, like that. I'll press enter and you'll see the problem right away. Now as you see here in the description up here at the top, it shows the file that we're working with is test. Well, I wanted my file to be called test file, not just test. So you can see that the command that I executed was really not what I wanted to achieve. So I'll press Ctrl and X to exit since I don't want to save this file, and watch what happens next. Now down here it says switched to file. So essentially by typing nano space test space file, I didn't tell Nano that I wanted to create a file called test file. What I did instead was I told Nano that I wanted to work with two files, one called test and one called file. So you see the problem right away. So how do we solve it? Well, there's two ways, actually three ways of solving the problem. So let's try again. So this time if I type nano space test and then a backslash space file, watch what happens now. Now I'm editing the file that I wanted to edit in the first place. So I'll go ahead and write something here, literally, just for the sake of the example. Then I'll save it, and then I'll exit. So if I do ls, you'll notice here that I do have a file called test file. Now sometimes it can be confusing when you look at the output of ls by itself, because you see test and you see file, but it doesn't really tell you that this is one file called test file, or if it's two files, one called test and one called file. So if you do ls-l, you see right away that it actually is just the one file. And that's because I did it correctly the second time by putting a backslash to escape out the space, basically, and that makes it include the space in the file name. But that's not actually the only way of doing it. Now you could also do this, nano space and then quotation marks test file, and then close the quotation marks, press enter, and there you go. It brought me back into the file that I was creating. So you could do the same thing basically with the make dir command, and it probably will have the same problem. So mkdir test dir, just like that. Now watch what happens. I have, let me do ls-l so you can actually see it better. I have two directories, dir and test. So when I typed make dir test dir, it had the same exact problem as when we did nano test file up here. It created two directories, one called test and one called dir, and that's not what we want. So let's go ahead and remove them. rm-r to remove folders. I don't quite remember if I taught you guys that yet, so if I haven't, I apologize. So anyway, to remove a directory, rm space -r, and I want to remove dir and test, and now the two folders that I created are gone, and we solve this problem the same way. Make dir test, dir, just like that, so ls-l, and now I have one folder called test dir, and of course to manipulate the folder, or in this case delete it, rm-r, we could also use quotes, and now the folder's gone. So that was your really super easy tutorial on how to handle file names that include spaces. So again, I apologize for not going over this earlier, but in the next several videos I hope to catch us up with some of the things that I should have taught you by now. So definitely check out the next several videos. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe, and I look forward to making more tutorials for you very soon.